How did a horrific two-man turn out to be the best night of my life? I knew the two-man was going to be a disaster the second I opened the apartment door and saw the guy my friend paired me with, vomiting into a decorative plant that didn't even belong to us. Great start, right? For context, I'm not a big partier. I go out maybe twice a month, and even then, I'm usually the I'll drive no, seriously, I like being sober type. But my best friend Jess had just gotten dumped, and she begged me to wing woman for her at this tiny apartment pregame, claiming it would be therapeutic. Her words, not mine. Her ex's friend group was there, and they brought two new guys to even the odds. One of them, my intended partner for beer pong, was Plant Vomiter. The other one was very cute and very clearly into Jess, so I sucked it up. The night escalated fast. Someone spilled a White Claw all over my shoes. Plant Vomiter kept calling me Melissa, which isn't my name. He also tried to cheers me with an empty cup and somehow still spilled it. Then came the two-man. I don't know how you can mess up beer pong when there are only 2 players per team, but he managed. He fell twice. At one point, he threw the ball so hard it bounced off the wall and hit a guy in the glasses. Someone yelled, "Bro, why?" And honestly, valid question. I was embarrassed, annoyed, and ready to fake a migraine. Then, mid-game, he suddenly went very quiet. He set down his drink and whispered, "Hey, can I sit down? I don't feel good." Next thing I know, he passed out on the floor. No one knew what to do. Everyone kept yelling over each other. Was he drinking before this? Is he allergic to something? Should we call 911? I crouched next to him, did the whole check his pulse thing. I remembered from high school CPR training, and thank God, he was breathing. But Jess looked terrified. She whispered, "If something happens to him, this is my fault." I invited him, and that's when the night changed. I took charge, not dramatically, but enough. I got people to clear a space, opened a window, got water and cold towels, and made someone sober up enough to drive us to urgent care when he finally woke up and said his chest felt tight. It turned out he'd had a panic attack mixed with dehydration and way too much alcohol. We stayed with him until his friend arrived, and when he was safely taken home, Jess and I stepped outside into the freezing night air. She just broke, cried harder than I'd seen her cry in years. Not about the guy, about everything, about her breakup, about feeling like she always makes things worse, about thinking she's a burden. And I realized something. I'd been so focused on getting through the night that I hadn't noticed how much she needed me, like really needed me. So we sat on the curb at 1 a.m., both wrapped in someone's abandoned hoodie, sharing cold McDonald's fries, while she told me she thought no one ever showed up for her the way she tried to show up for them. And I told her she was wrong, that I was here, that I'd always been here. She leaned her head on my shoulder and whispered, "Tonight sucked, but I'm glad I wasn't alone." And that was the twist. The horrific two-man wasn't about beer pong or chaos or humiliating disasters. It was this fragile, unexpected moment where my best friend finally let herself fall apart, and I finally understood how much she trusted me to catch her. We ended up walking home at sunrise, half asleep, mascara smudged, freezing, laughing about how the plant probably didn't survive the night. And even though the party was awful, and the two-man was catastrophic, it was the first time in a long time I felt like I showed up exactly the way someone needed. And honestly, that turned it into one of the best nights of my life.